Hello, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Dr. Wiggo, and today we're going to be unboxing a ZV-E1, the camera from Sony. I'd say new, except it's like a year old. And the device that's going to let me use this camera, the Ulanzi Camera Cooling Fan. I got a story here, but again, if you don't want to hear my story, if you just want to see
what's in the box,
skip to the next chapter. Or if you want to see what's in this box, skip to the chapter after that. So let me tell you my story. The ZV-E1 came out a year ago. And my friend, Mark Bennett of Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis, Bennett, almost convinced me to buy one. But he failed. It's because of something he told me in his reviews that got me not to buy it. It has an overheating issue. Because it's a little teeny tiny camera that does like 4K 60 and stuff like that, but because it's so tiny, it can't dissipate the heat. So I really couldn't use it. And it's a vlogging camera, and as we all know, even though I keep threatening to do vlogging because of my health and my back and all the stuff that's been going on, that's been pushed off. But when I retire, it's gonna happen, I promise. I wanted one, but I'm not going to put up with overheating. So instead, I got an A6700. And guess what? It overheats. Now, it goes a long time, but it has overheated on me, and like there's been a couple of unboxings and things that lasted too long because I'm slow. Y'all watch these videos, they're like 10, 15 minutes, and you think, wow, he's really fast. No, I shoot for like an hour, and then I edit. And so you go an hour, and this little A6700 over here will overheat. So I ordered one of these, which again, Mark Bennett told me about on Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis channel. I'll link those videos down below. And in fact, the early version of this had suction cups on it, and even Mark Bennett didn't care for it that much. But now they've come up with the, well, we'll get to that when we unbox it, but it now has a different way of attaching that doesn't use suction cups. So it's much more stable, and so I ordered this, and I had this, and was waiting for a chance to unbox it. And then a little while ago, I'm watching a video from Mark Bennett, and this camera was on sale for like $300 off, which for Sony considers a sale $100 off. Well, that's not a sale when you're talking about things that cost $1,000, $2,000. This camera's over $2,000. Without the sale. But with the sale, it was like $1,800. And I'm going, I can afford that. Now that I have one of these, I could use this. Yes, Mark Bennett cost me another $2,000. It's what he does. You watch him and he's got the pretty face and he does a thing and you just get sucked into his baby blues and you just end up buying all the stuff he's selling. And using his sponsored links so he can get stinking rich. So I wanted this a year ago when it came out, but it overheated. But then there was a solution, but it wasn't a good solution. But then there was a better solution, and then it was on sale, and here we are. Well, let's get right to it then. Now for the unboxing. First, we have to commend Sony for the much smaller boxes they're using for their cameras now so that we don't have all that waste. Because you know how many trees they kill with their little booklets. Although, not as many booklets as usual. How to upgrade your camera. Oh, 4K 120. Well, of course it's going to overheat. 4K 120, that uses a lot of power. So, what's in the box? A camera strap. Now, since this will be a vlogging camera, I might actually use a camera strap. Here's the main event. What else is in here? Oh, that's another thing about the ZV-E1. It's the 100 battery, the big one. Whereas the ZV-E10, which I have hanging up here, shooting this, takes the smaller batteries, the 50s, and they're just not as good. They don't last as long. These are much better batteries, and it's the same battery as that camera, that camera, that camera. And I have a bunch of these, so this is fantastic. We have a little muff for the microphone. Now that's one of the things about this camera is apparently it has a much better microphone I have to applaud Sony for reducing the amount of waste with their camera boxes. This is much more environmentally friendly. But let's get into the main event here. This is the ZV-E1. Now what they've done is the ZV-E10 was extremely popular, especially with content creators, because it's small, easy to handle. It's a good vlogging camera, and in fact, if you go back and watch some of my videos, I'll link down below. When I was testing lenses for vlogging, I was using the A7C, but this is an APS-C camera, the ZV-E10, but the ZV-E1, look, full frame. So this takes full frame lenses, of which I have many. One of the reasons I wanted to buy this is because I have on order another lens that Mark Bennett made me buy. Bennett! The new Viowa 10mm full frame. Amazing depth. I mean, 10 millimeters, and it's like rectilinear. It's a fantastic lens. You'll see an unboxing if they ever ship. It's been on order for over a month and still not shipping. But this is a full frame. So basically we have the sensor. I think it's a sensor from this guy, the A7 IV. I may be mistaken. I'll put on the screen if I'm wrong. But it's a really good sensor, full frame sensor. But with the small body, not quite as small as the ZV-E10, but still very small, very compact, which is why it overheats. But we're going to solve that in a minute. Got the flip out screen. It has a 3 microphone system here with the little cover. It has the hot shoe for using the Sony mics like I have on these guys. I have the B10 and the B1M. It's a fantastic camera. I'll put up some specs on the screen here, but it's a really good little camera. It's the ZV-E10 with a better sensor and the new menu system with the touch menus. Well, I'm not going to go through the whole setup here. Well, I am going to go through the whole setup, but you don't have to watch. It asks you to set the auto temperature thing to prioritize recording time, perform pixel mapping, which is the same thing the FX30 does as well. A7 IV, not so much. We have the new fancy menus. So this is like the latest smarts, the latest brain, the latest processor with the new menu system, and it's all touch. So it's a really good camera, and in a video in the future, I will take it out for a spin and show you what's going on. But today, we're just going to unbox it. What I'll do is when I get the 10mm lens, full frame lens, then I will use this camera to test that lens. And so we will test the camera and the lens together, assuming it comes in any kind of reasonable time frame, which isn't looking likely. We'll have time for Vision Pro stuff in the meanwhile. Not next week, because still grading. But this is my new camera, which I am really looking forward to playing with. So, that's the camera. But what enabled me to buy the camera was the little fan that my friend Mark Bennett told me about. And it's a clever little thing. So what you have here is a little fan. It's got a little LED. It's got a rechargeable battery. If the fan is in 0 gear, then it's turned off. And then 1 gear, the radiator runs in low speed mode, and 2nd gear, it runs in high speed mode. And it shows you the temperature that it's monitoring on off the camera. And see, the original version came with the suction cup mounting, and you had to glue a thing onto the back of your camera, and then, but now see, it has this fancy little thing. Oh, here, I just happen to have a camera right here. See, and it just locks in there like that with the little bracket. Now it will pop out, doesn't fall out, but it's easy to snap out. If you put it in this way, then the readout is up here, which is in line with everything on the camera. Well, I guess I'll be trying it both ways. But see, this will allow it to go shoot longer without overheating. I didn't mention, Camera does, you can just plug this into USB into your computer and do streaming in 4K right out of the box. It's gonna be a while before I do any live streaming, so, you know, hold your horses. We'll get to that. So those are my new toys. A new camera, which you will be seeing on the channel from time to time as like an A or B camera, but not in this room, in other rooms. And then again, when we get around to the vlogging and for lens testing, especially, you know, vlog walks and walking outside, this will be the guy instead of the A7C. Because while the A7C is a fantastic full frame, also small body camera, that doesn't overheat, by the way, it doesn't have the fancy new menu system and all the cool stuff that this has. This has the same thing. If you go watch my A6700 video, which I will link down below. It has the panning and zooming, so you can have the, you know, be walking around and makes it look like you have a camera operator. This has a lot of features, which we will explore in a future video. But for now, I just wanted to get them out of the box so I can get a video up this weekend so I can get back to grading my papers, because I got a lot of students who want to graduate and they're not all there yet. That's kind of it for today. ZV-E1, fantastic little camera that we will look into in a future video. And my little fan to keep it warm. I guess now I got to get a second one for the A6700. I don't remember what this was. I think it's around $100. Oh, yeah, I'll put the prices up and they'll be linked down below. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye-bye. I'm off to grade papers and edit videos. I'll see you later. Thanks for staying to the end. Bye-bye.